Hi folks. Well, this morning's coffee chat's going to be a little bit different. This is the video that might kill my channel. It might go viral. I don't know. That's up to y'all. But it might kill my channel. It's a video that needs to be done. It's a video that I promised several videos ago. And I kept forgetting, or maybe avoiding, I don't know. But back January, February, one of my videos, I said that this would be the next video. Well, then I went down for radiation, and I felt compelled to do that video about the Atlanta Hope Lodge. By the way, there's a link to it right up there. That next video about the Atlanta Hope Lodge, I'd really appreciate it if y'all go watch that video. It's got some good information if you have any family that has cancer and is being treated in Atlanta. It has some really good information. But anyway, I felt compelled to do that video, so I didn't do this one next, like I said I would. And like I say, maybe it was avoiding, maybe it was just forgetting. But it's time to do that video. Now right here is where I'm going to lose some of you. Right here, some of y'all are going to click off. And some of you who don't click off by the end of the video are going to unsubscribe. I'm not going to say I don't care. I do. But this video and some others, I said I was going to do a video on this subject. It's going to be about 3 or 4 because one video won't do it. And don't worry, it won't be 3 or 4 videos in a row about their following up on this. And it won't even be 3 or 4 coffee chats. I'll have some other ones sprinkled in there too. But over the next week or 2 or 3, there'll be 3 or 4 videos on this subject. And because this subject needs to be directed at 3 or 4 different groups of people. And I'm going to do a video for each one. So here's where you click off. It's time we had a talk about alcoholism. Most of y'all, if you've been watching my channel for very long, you know I'm an alcoholic. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've got this November 7th, 11 years sober. Don't congratulate me, it's no big deal. That just means that for 11 years I've been doing what I should have been doing for 64 years, not being a drunk. Nothing to congratulate there. There's a group that I want to talk to first about this. And these aren't going to be in necessarily the order that you would expect. Because I'm going to start with video number 2 and do it as video number 1. Because to me, it's the most important thing about alcoholism and becoming a recovering alcoholic instead of an active alcoholic. And this one's directed at you folks out there who are active alcoholics. You know it. You don't like it. You want to quit. And you don't have a clue how. You don't have any idea how to get sober. I know that feeling because I've been there. Been there, done that. Desperately wanted to get sober. And tried all sorts of stuff. None of it was working. Hang on just a second, folks. Hey, Christine. That was Christine, one of my neighbors. She wanted to stop and talk for a few minutes. Where was I? Oh yeah. People that want to get sober and don't know how. That's who this video is directed toward. So, here's the deal, folks. First thing you need to understand if you want to get sober and don't know, I mean, I went to AA meeting after AA meeting after AA meeting. Some of y'all been there. Some of y'all been to AA meetings. And you know how their poker chip deal works. First time you come in, you get a white chip. That means you're going to try to get sober. And after 30 days, you get a different color and a different color and a different color. Man, I've got enough white chips in the house to tile the bathroom. I'd show up, I was going to a meeting 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'd show up on Monday sober and get a white chip, show up on Wednesday drunk, show up on Friday, get another white chip, show up on Monday drunk, show up on Wednesday, get another white chip, show up on Friday drunk. I've got enough white chips to tile the bathroom. So you know how that works. And I'm not saying AA doesn't work. It only works if you work at it. But that's not even what I'm talking about here. Alcoholism, or an alcoholic that wants to get sober, is the only thing you will ever find in your life where the best thing you can do is be one selfish SOB. Don't think about anybody else but yourself. And here's why I say that. If you try to get sober for anything other than yourself, there's a good chance you'll get drunk again. If your wife's tired of you being drunk all the time and you decide to get sober to save your marriage, or if you want to be a better dad for your kids and not be setting such a lousy example being drunk all the time, so you want to get sober for your kids, or if your boss has threatened to fire you. He hadn't fired you yet, but he's threatened to fire you because he's tired of you showing up drunk. So you want to get sober for your job. All those things can go away, even if you get sober. If you get sober for your wife, she might divorce you anyway. You get sober for your kids might hate your guts anyway because of the way you've been so far. Try to get sober for your job. You know, the boss might just say, you know, I've worked with you on this as long as I can, you're gone. Or the company could go bankrupt. Everything that you can get sober for can go away. Everything, except for you. You'll never go away. Saying I learned a long time ago when I was trying to run from my alcoholism was, doesn't do any good to run, because no matter where I go, there I am. You're stuck with yourself. So, since you're stuck with yourself, and since it's the only thing you can't lose, you can lose family, you can lose friends, you can lose jobs, you can lose your money, you can lose everything in the world except yourself. Yourself you are stuck with. If you don't believe me, just go look in the mirror every day. Guess who's going to be looking back? You. So you're stuck with yourself. So that one thing you're stuck with, that's what you have to get sober for. You have to be selfish. You have to not quit for any other reason than one. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you get to that point that you're not wanting to quit for anybody else or anything else, but simply because when you look in the mirror, the person you see is sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you can get sober. You'll be wasting your time any reason before then, because all of it can go away. And back, even if it hadn't gone away yet, back in the back of your mind, you know it can. So getting sober for that other stuff just isn't going to work. So you need to sit down and have a talk with yourself. Do I really want to get sober? That's the first question. No, excuse me, that's the second question. The first question is, do I think I'm an alcoholic? Do I know that I'm an alcoholic? That was easy to answer. Excuse me, it's simple to answer, but it's not easy to answer. Are you an alcoholic? It's easy. Do you drink because you want to, or do you drink because you have to? Has nothing to do with how much you drink. Now, I know a little old lady about 6 miles from here, and she might be dead now. I hadn't seen her in about 7 or 8 years. But I know a little old lady about 7 or 8 miles from here who's in her late 70s. And she called me a son of a bitch one day because first I told her she was an alcoholic and then I proved it to her. I was over to her house and it was in the afternoon and it was getting on toward 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And came 5 o'clock and she excused herself and went and poured herself a glass of wine, came back, sat down, and we were talking. I said, you do know you're an alcoholic, right? She said, she got offended. I'm no alcoholic. Well, of course you are. You have to have that glass of wine every day at 5 o'clock. It's one glass of wine, Bob. You used to drink a half a gallon of gin every single day. I'm drinking a glass of wine. So it doesn't matter. How you know if you're an alcoholic or not is if you have to have it or do you want to have it. And you have to have that glass of wine. If you don't have that glass of wine, you just freak out. No, I can do without this glass of wine. You know, really? Tomorrow, don't drink it. Don't drink that glass of wine tomorrow. I'll come see you the day after tomorrow. So the next day, I'm going to have to take a break again here in a second. Here comes another vehicle. So the next day, I didn't go by, and I went by the next day. I knocked on the door, she opened the door, and first words out of her mouth was, "You son of a bitch." I said, "What?" She said, "I can't do without that glass of wine." I know that. I told you that day before yesterday, and that's what makes you an alcoholic. It's not how much you drink, it's whether you have to drink or not. It's that simple. Now, let me say hi to these folks. I'll be back in just a minute. Well, let's try this again. That was Scott. You remember Christine that went by, headed to town in the Mercedes, big old Mercedes van? Well, Scott's doing some work on her house. So where were we? First question, are you an alcoholic? Simple. Do you want the booze or do you have to have the booze? You can drink a lot. You can drink an awful lot and not be an alcoholic. I got a friend of mine right now. He puts down a 30-pack every other day. He's not an alcoholic. If he doesn't want to drink it, he doesn't drink it. Come wintertime, he hardly drinks at all. He drinks during the summertime because he's always out fishing or cutting the grass or something like that. And by George, in Georgia, there's a law. To drink or cut grass, you have to have a beer. At least that's what he says. But he can do without it real easy. And he doesn't have to have it. He just wants it. It's his favorite hot weather drink. He's not an alcoholic. But that little old lady, one glass of wine every day at 5 o'clock that she has to have, she's an alcoholic. It doesn't have anything to do with how much you drink. So, first question is, are you an alcoholic? Second question is, if I've decided that I am an alcoholic, can I be totally selfish and quit for no other reason but me? And if you hadn't gotten to there yet, if you're still thinking about your family, not wanting to lose your marriage, not wanting to lose your kids, not wanting to lose your job, not wanting to lose your house, not wanting to lose your money, not wanting to lose anything other than yourself, you're wasting your time. Don't bother trying to stop and drink. Just keep on pouring it down until you get to where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you've decided to be selfish. So I'm going to stop right there on this one. Next one still be about, not the next coffee chat, not the next video, but there'll be another coffee chat about a little bit different on alcoholism soon. And I really hope that y'all will hang around. I hope you'll share this. That's what I hope. Those of you who aren't alcoholics, but you know one, or you've got alcoholism in your family, share this around. Not to get me more views, to maybe try to wake somebody up. God knows, you couldn't wake me up with a baseball bat when I was back in the day. And I really wish somebody had just laid it out. No sugarcoating, no being nice about it, just flat out laid it out. Maybe I would have gotten sober a day or two earlier. But anyway, that's beside the point. Share it around. Maybe it'll hit somebody. And if talking about alcoholism pisses you off, then unsubscribe. That's up to you. If it pisses you off, then I think maybe you're the one that's got the problem, though. Anyway, that's all for today. Like always, remember two things. Two really important things. Number one, the tomb was empty. And number two, yes, he is alive. Y'all have an awesome day, and I'll see you again soon.